Hey everybody, it's Monday, August 11th. So the main task that's been the highest priority since my last update has been getting the sculpture to dry and getting as much water to evaporate out of the plaster and out of the rocks as possible in the time we have left before installation. So we had it fully assembled for a couple of days and we let it kind of start to dry in its fully assembled state. But when it's assembled like that, each piece only has two faces available for air to circulate around, so the interior of the sculpture wasn't going to be drying very well. So the entire sculpture got disassembled into its 116 parts, the 100 plaster layers and the 16 rock sections. So now everything is spread out for air circulation and for water to evaporate around. They get rotated and moved around throughout the day. We have fans, we have dehumidifiers. So we're trying to control this drying as much as possible. So the balance is to try to get as much water to evaporate as quickly as possible, but also to control the rate of drying so that it doesn't happen too quickly. So we've been trying to find that balance of getting everything to dry as much as possible, but also kind of controlling the climate and controlling the air and the humidity. It's been going pretty well. I'm pretty optimistic that by the time that we get to Charlotte, it will be pretty dry. So in the next day or two, we'll be making some decisions about the final surface sealers for the plaster and for the rocks. There's a separate sealer for the plaster and then a separate sealer for the rocks. Both of those sealers do need some time to off-gas. So depending on how much drying we get today and into tomorrow, we'll be making a decision about whether we'll be applying those sealers before the sculpture gets packed for transport, or if not, then the sealing will happen at a later date. The sealer that we finally decided on for the plaster is a product called Renaissance Wax. And this is a wax that's used in the conservation and preservation industry in a lot of museums to protect objects of all different materials. So it can be applied to all different surfaces. The British Museum developed it in the 50s for their collection. So it's fully archival, it's non-yellowing, and it will help the plaster resist absorbing grease or oils and just overall protect the plaster surface. It will also unify the plaster in a really nice way and give it just a little bit of a sheen. And so the sealer that I would like to use for the rocks is an acrylic gloss sealer, and it will give the rocks just a slight look as if they were slightly wet. The color will be slightly more enhanced and slightly more enriched. So I'll keep you posted on how things go with the sealer decisions. So I think that's it for today. I just want to thank everybody again for all your help in making this project happen and making everything possible. And hopefully the next time I talk to you will be in person in Charlotte. So thank you everyone, I'll see you soon.